Hi everybody, in this video we are going to discuss about drugs and alcohol abuse. Okay, drugs and alcohol abuse. So we know that we use the drugs. Okay, we know that we will be using the drugs for medical purpose. Okay, we will be using the drugs for medical purpose. Which means to treat disorders or injuries. Okay, to treat disorders or injuries, drugs are used. Okay, as in medical purpose we say. But here, drugs which are used for non-medical purpose are also being identified. Okay, drugs which are used for non-medical purpose. Okay, non-medical purpose. Okay, are also being identified. Those drugs which are used for medical purpose are called as use. Okay, they are considered as use. And those drugs which are taken, intake of drugs for non-medical purpose to treat disorders or any injuries is called as what? Abuse. Okay, we call it as abuse. So here, if we are using, if anyone is using the drugs for non-medical purpose, we are calling it as what? Abuse. Okay, abuse. So here we understood now the drugs and the term abuse. Okay, drugs and the term abuse we understood here now. Now we will see different types of drugs that are commonly used. Okay, commonly used drugs. Okay, commonly used abused drugs. Let us say commonly used drugs. Okay, abused drugs. Commonly used abused drugs we are going to see now. There are different types of abused drugs. The first one which we are going to see here is opioids. Okay, opioids are the abused drugs. So here these drugs which we are going to study now. Okay, opioids, cannabinoids and coca alkaloids. Okay, there are three types. Okay, opioids, cannabinoids and coca alkaloids. Okay, all these three different types of drugs are obtained either from the flowering plants or from the fungi. Okay, either from the flowering plants or from the fungi we are obtaining these drugs. Okay, abused drugs. Okay, abused drugs. So let us try to understand and learn more about these drugs. Okay, one by one. The first type of drug is opioids. Okay, opioids. So here, if you are looking at the opioids, okay, these drugs are obtained from a plant. Okay, the name of the plant from which the opioids are obtained are Papivera somniferum. Please remember the names of the plants, which are very important and will be asked both in subjective and also objective. These are very important. Okay, so now see here. So name of the plant from which opioids drugs are obtained is Papivera somniferum. So Papivera somniferum is the name of the plant from which what is obtained? Drugs called as opioids. So this plant is commonly called as what? Opium plant. Okay, it is commonly called as opium plant, or otherwise we are calling it as poppy plant. Okay, we are calling it as the poppy plant. So it is called as opium plant or otherwise poppy plant. But what is the name of the plant? Papivera somniferum. Commonly called as what? Opium plant and or otherwise poppy plant we are calling it as. Now from this plant, okay, from this plant, from which part of this plant the drug is obtained? Okay, from the drug is obtained. Drug yielding plant part. If you are looking at the drug yielding plant part, it is the dried latex. Please follow it carefully. Okay, it is the dried latex of unripe capsule. Unripe capsule. Unripe capsule means nothing but it is the fruit. Okay, it is the fruit. Please remember that. Okay, it is the fruit. So here you can say that the drug yielding plant part is nothing but what? The fruit. Okay, fruit. Dried latex of unripe capsule. This unripe capsule is the fruit. Okay, it is the fruit. So from the fruit, what is obtained now? The drug known as the opioids. So here the name is given. The name of the drug. What is the name of the drug obtained from the plant called as Papivera somniferum or opium plant, or otherwise commonly called as what? Poppy plant. Okay, if the question is asked like that, you will be writing it as what? Opioids. Okay, opioids, or otherwise the same will also be called as what? Opiates. Okay, it is also called as the opiates. Okay, opiates. Now as we already said that this is an abuse drug because it is taken for non-medical purpose, not for medical purpose. So when the people take this, okay, when the people are taking this, what is the mode of action? Okay, what is the mode of action? Or let us say like this: on which part of our body this particular drug obtained from the plant called as Papaver somniferum, known as opioids or opiates, is acting. Okay, is acting. So here, if you are looking at it, it is called as mode of action. We are writing it as the mode of action. So this particular drug will be binding to the specific opioid receptors in the central nervous system, okay, or in the brain. We have the receptors which are specific, okay, to which these opioids will go and bind. Okay, opioids will go and bind. So let us say like this: bind to specific opioid receptors present in our central nervous system and also gastrointestinal tract. Gastrointestinal tract. So there are some receptors, okay, present in the central nervous system and also in the gastrointestinal tract, to which this particular drug goes and binds and brings the changes in the body. So here, if you are looking at these opioids, okay, if you are looking at these opioids now, we are saying that it is acting upon what? The central nervous system and also the gastrointestinal tract by binding to what? Receptors of the central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract, we are saying. Now, what is the effect? What is the effect? So, if you are looking at the effects, there are various effects that are shown by this particular drug called as opioids. Okay, drugs called as opioids. Now, what are the effects? And you have to be careful with the terms. Okay, these are new terms for you all, and you have to be very careful in identifying these terms, because these terms will be used in objective. Okay, and you should not get confused when you are coming across these words. Okay, what are the effects of opioids? Okay, opioids. It is first narcotic. Okay, it is narcotic drug, we call it as. Narcotic drug means what? It causes drowsiness, it causes insensibility and relieves pain. Okay, and relieves pain. So drowsiness, insensibility, relieves pain. Okay, so that if a drug is showing all these three characteristics, okay, three characteristics like drowsiness, insensibility and relieves pain, we are calling such drugs as what? Narcotic. One of the narcotic drug is what? We are studying opioids. So opioids are narcotic. Okay, so when a person takes these opioids, they feel drowsy, insensibility, they don't feel sensed, because we know that it is acting upon what? The central nervous system, and they lose the sense. Okay, they lose the sense of touch, and at the same time it relieves pain. Okay, it relieves pain. So here, those drugs which are having these three characteristics will be called as what? Narcotic. Okay, narcotic. And another one, here if you are seeing analgesic. Okay, analgesic. This is a very common word which we come across in medical stores. Okay, analgesic. Okay, analgesic. Analgesic means what? It is nothing but painkillers. Okay, the painkillers that we use. Okay, the pain for body pains or any pains which when we are using, we call them as they are analgesic. So analgesic means what? Painkillers. So opioids will be acting as what? Painkillers. Okay, opioids will be acting as painkillers. So if there is any drug which is acting as a painkiller, we call them as what? Analgesic. Okay, analgesic. This is another effect that opioids will be showing on our body. And at the same time, astringent. Okay, astringent, which means constriction of body parts. Okay, constriction of body parts. Like this, there may be some where the body parts will be loosed. Okay, they will be very loose, or they are not having the constriction of the muscles. So in such cases, they will be giving these astringents called as the astringents. One of the astringents which is called as opioids, which causes constriction of the body parts. And another one, a very important one, sedative. Okay, we call it as sedative drug. Sedative drug. So opioid is one of the sedative drug because it promotes what? Calming. Okay, if somebody is there very hyper, okay, hyper, and you are unable to control him, okay, then immediately they will be giving these opioids which behaves as what? Sedative. Sedative means what? Promotes calming. It will cool, or it will bring the body to calm. Okay, to calmness. And at the same time, it can also cause what? Sleep. It can also cause sleep. So opioids are sleep inducing. Opioids are sleep inducing. They cause sleep. Okay, they cause sleep. And otherwise, we are calling it as what? It is a depressant. It will depress the body. It will make the body, okay, to neutral, and they will not be hyper. So in all these ways, this particular drug called as opioids are used. Okay, opioids are used in the form of what? Non-medical purpose. Please remember, this is what we are talking about. Okay, the drugs when they are used for non-medical purpose to treat injury or a disorder, we are calling it as what? Abuse. Okay, we are calling it as abuse. So commonly called abuse drug here is what? One of the abuse drug is the opioids, which is causing all these now. Okay, which is causing all these. So now we will see the next point as types of opiates. Okay, types of opiates. So if you are looking at, these are the names that are given for the opiates. Okay, one is called as morphine. Morphine, it is also called as methyl morphine. Okay, it is also known as methyl morphine. Okay, methyl morphine we call it as. Okay, and other one in which it is obtained, opiates are obtained, is codeine. Okay, codeine is a very important drug. Actually, it is used in the cough syrup. Okay, it is used in cough syrup. That's why when we take cough syrup, we will be feeling drowsy. We will be feeling drowsy and sleepy. Okay, when we are taking cough syrup. And not only in cough syrup, it is used in many medicines. Codeine is used in many medicines. Okay, codeine is also used in not only cough syrup, but it also in many medicines. Okay, in many medicines it is used. Now heroin. Okay, heroin. So when you are looking at the heroin, heroin is a diacetyl morphine. It is a diacetyl morphine. Okay, heroin is a diacetyl morphine. And this is a heroin is commonly called as smack. Okay, it is commonly called as smack. And in this area, it is touched in a subjective. Last year, there is a question that is asked based on this part. Okay, so please follow this carefully. Okay, so now heroin is also a diacetyl morphine, which is commonly called as what? Smack. Okay, which is commonly called as smack, and it is very dangerous one. It is the most dangerous drug. Okay, it is the most dangerous drug. Please remember, heroin is the most dangerous drug. Okay, and this heroin is obtained in the form of what? White, odorless, bitter and crystalline compound. It is a white, odorless, bitter crystalline compound. Okay, it will be white in color. It is not having any smell. Okay, it is in when a person tastes it, it is bitter and it is like crystals. Okay, just like sugar or salt crystals, it will be present. So with all these characteristics, okay, with all these characteristics, now how the people will be taking? Okay, how this is being taken as a drug? Okay, as a drug, how this these drugs are taken by the people. Now if you are seeing another point, a very important point, as we are going to look at the how it is taken. Please remember that morphine, when it undergoes a process called as acetylation. Okay, morphine, when it undergoes a process called as acetylation, it is forming as what? Diacetyl morphine, means it is forming as heroin. Okay, it is forming as heroin, which means morphine only, it is undergoing what? It is undergoing acetylation process and forming as diacetyl morphine, which is called as heroin. And as I said, because it is used in cough syrups and all opiates, there will be depressants and slows down the body functions. Okay, so especially morphine. Okay, especially morphine, which is in the form of what? Diacetyl morphine, which is nothing but heroin, commonly called as smack. Okay, commonly called as smack. It is acting as what? A depressant and slows down the body functions. Now, as I said, how it is taken? How it is taken? It is taken in the form of injections. Okay, it is taken in the form of injections and snorting. Snorting means what? Inhaling. Okay, snorting means inhaling. They will be taking in their hands. Okay, they will be taking in their hands and they will be rubbing and they will be inhaling that. Okay, inhaling that. So which causes them what? Depression. Okay, or otherwise slows down the body functions, or they will be calm. Okay, they will be calm. So or otherwise, in rare case, they will also take it in the oral form. Okay, through the mouth also sometimes they will be taking it. But these two are important. Okay, these two are important. They are taken as in the form of injections or snorting. Snorting means what? Inhaling. Okay, snorting means inhaling. So these are some points which we should keep in mind when we are talking about what? The first drug called as opioids. Okay, first drug called as opioids. And as we said that these commonly abused drugs are obtained from the flowering plants or from the fungi So these are the points we should keep in mind when we talk about the first drug called as opioids. Thank you so much.